It's a UEFA Champions League evening, and of course, all the live matches are done, and we have the results here. And some had it difficult, some had it easily. I don't know. I mean, what match should we take first?
I think Manchester United and that of
Copenhagen.
sure.
Okay. That game, I think I expected Manchester United to win at least 3 goals plus, right?
Yes.
That was the prediction I made. I made a prediction of 3-1, 4-1, something like that, a huge scoreline, or even 3-0. That's what I predicted. But unfortunately, Manchester United, came up with another disappointment. 1 goal isn't enough. Even coming from a defender, Harry Maguire, I was so shocked seeing a goal from Harry Maguire. Though it's just a win and they've gotten the 3 points, and that is the most important thing to Manchester United fans right now. But I think it was so disappointing to the point that they could not control the game they wanted it to go. They couldn't play the game how they wanted it to go. It was quite shocking.
Yeah, I think Manchester United have done well because coming into this game, last match, which happened to be a league match,
Yeah.
it was 2-1, and even that one, it wasn't on a silver platter.
Yeah,
You took one defender to score, so you can see that the attackers of Manchester United are now relaxing.
Yeah.
The goal scoring are not coming.
Yeah.
Because even if you take the Manchester United as a team and look
Yes.
at the goal scorers in this very season, the top scorer is Scott McTominay,
Okay.
followed by Bruno Fernandes. So you can clearly see that the goal scorer is now a problem. So what I think Ten Hag need to do is to work on his attackers so well so that they can score and give us the much good that Manchester United have been scoring. And also Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, he has been on and off, and I think these very 3 games that he has played for Manchester, I believe the performance is now upgrading small. So those to Harry Maguire and Manchester United as a team.
Yeah, but I'm not saying maybe getting the 3 points is bad. What I'm just saying is a team like Manchester United, I was expecting them to win at least, 2 goals, 3 goals, or something like that. So it was kind of disappointing to me watching the game and how the game went. It didn't go how Manchester United planned the game to go. So it's not like maybe they just scored 1 goal and it's kind of disappointing, but the way the game unfolded, it's just kind of shocking to me. That's just my problem. It's not like maybe the 3 points that they've gotten, I'm complaining of it. It's good to have your 3 points, and at least this is a competition that you need to stay in the competition. That's the most important thing. But I was expecting them to dominate the game, and the game should have gone how they planned it to go. Because Manchester United wanted to be able to play direct passes through their defense. That was the plan. But it couldn't go that way, and it was just kind of embarrassing watching the game.
Yeah.
I predicted Manchester United to win. That was my prediction, right? But it ended up being even it had to come from Harry Maguire, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, I think also the absence of Casemiro has effect on the Manchester United setup.
Yeah.
Because that defensive solidity Casemiro will be giving you is no more there. Amrabat is an upcoming player, and also don't expect Amrabat. We don't expect
be like Casemiro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the very moment Casemiro get back on track, things will begin to work so smoothly for the Manchester United.
Of course, when Casemiro is back, things are going to be right. But let's take a look at Arsenal versus Sevilla. Arsenal versus Sevilla, I told you that they play the same caliber of football, right? I told you this.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a very tough game, and it really was. And had it been that Sevilla was lucky enough, the game could have ended in a draw, or maybe Sevilla even winning, because they dominated the ball possession and all that. The ball possession at the end of the game was 54-46, which means Sevilla had an upper hand over them when it comes to dominating the game, which was quite shocking to me, considering the players that Arsenal have. Someone like Odegaard, a top-notch player. Declan Rice, he's a top player, and they could not control the game how they wanted it to be controlled. It was quite embarrassing from the Arsenal perspective, but quite interesting from the Sevilla standpoint. And I think Sevilla deserves a very great credit on this one. What do you think?
Yeah. For me, I think during the first half of this very game, I think it was a barren game altogether.
Yeah.
Both opponents were not able to score.
Yeah.
So until the second half, both managers worked so effectively on his tactics, and I believe it works on perfectly for Arsenal as a team. The very moment they came, you could realize that of Sevilla, they responded so quick.
Yeah.
And don't forget about Gabriel Jesus. It's one of the experienced players in Europe, and when you go to Brazil too, he's also a top scorer in the Brazilian setup. So he also showed up. Unfortunately, as I said earlier on, Sevilla would love to go back to Europa.
Yeah.
So coming into this game, I knew for sure Arsenal have no excuse than to win this game. So kudos to Arsenal. They've done it.
Remembering in the preview, I said it. I said Arsenal must win this game.
Yes.
If they want to stay on top of the table, they have to find a way to win this game. It's just a do or die affair when it comes to this game. But it was quite interesting to me. And the scoreline I predicted 2-1 for Arsenal. And it's quite like that. So I think going further, Arsenal, they haven't convinced me that much. When the season started, I thought maybe Arsenal would have been a top-tier team when it comes to European competition or something like that. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing what I was expecting. I was expecting them to be able to control such games hands down, be able to smash teams left, right, center. But, I mean, I'm not seeing it that way.
Yeah.
Though I'm not saying maybe winning this game 2-1. I mean, the results is the most important thing because this is a knockout. This is a competition that you have to get into the knockout stage to be able to get certain amount of money from uefa or something. So the most important thing is getting the 3 points. But what I'm saying is the performance is not that convincing. Like what I expected from Arsenal from the onset, from the start of the season, is not what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, I think Arsenal for some time they were off in Champions League and their competition was much more in that of Europa.
Yeah.
And Arsenal going back to Spain, that's Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. I think it was one of the it wasn't going to be an easy
and
game.
The experience of Sergio Ramos impacted the game somehow, some way. It impacted the game,
Sure.
and I think they quite had a plan. Even prior to the game, they had a plan that Ramos have to play this game. If you pay attention, in all Sevilla matches this season, they mostly bench him. But when they meet a top team, they play Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
And I think the coach have a plan when it comes to these type of games.
Yeah. Because Ramos, whatever at all you need in football, he's seen it all and he'll give you.
Yeah.
So I think the coach of that of Sevilla knew what is in Ramos.
Yeah.
And during set games, you need experienced player to just step up. And his impact was so effective. But it's unfortunate that they lose to that of Arteta.
Yeah. Of course, it's unfortunate Sevilla lost the game, but I think the Gunners fans, Arsenal fans are so happy and, with the results they've gotten because the most important thing for Arsenal fans this evening is just the 3 points and, being on top of the league, the table. I think that is what is more important to Arsenal fans as a start. They don't care about the performance on the field of play. Now, looking at our next game is Braga versus Real Madrid. I mean, quite interesting game.
Yes.
I said it, and what I said in the preview was Madrid was going to bench either Bellingham, Vinicius, or Fede Valverde.
Yeah.
I said they were going to bench one of these players, and fortunately enough, all these players started the game. But I think Madrid was not dominating the game. Like the game was really, I think, much more dominated by Braga.
Yeah.
So what do you think Madrid was lacking in the midfield?
Yeah. During the preview, I said earlier on that Madrid going in this game have no any other option than to win this game because of their the level. Because their next match is Barcelona, so Madrid doesn't need any excuse than to win against of that thing. But looking at the midfield of Real Madrid, I realized they were lacking something.
Yeah.
You see, if I were to be Don Carlo, I think I would start that of Tchouaméni, partnering shoulders together with Avade and Toni Kroos.
Yeah.
Because Toni Kroos wasn't part of this very setup.
Yeah.
He was benched, and he started the old guy, the OG, our grandpa, Luka.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the presence of Luka was carrying
I think you quite said something about El Clasico, coming El Clasico, right? And I think the plan is to rest Toni Kroos and Tchouaméni so that they'll get enough rest because they've been starting consistently this season, right?
Yeah.
So I think the plan is to start Modric. Since this game the pressure is a little bit down, let me start someone like Modric that is old, that is not having enough time. And even if you watch the game closely, you see that someone like Fede Valverde wasn't performing at his level. Like the runs and the recovery and all those things, you could see that he was just kind of managing the game or something. I saw it to be like they were just managing, let's just get the 3 points and we are out of here. I think that was the plan. Like Fede Valverde that we know, he moved with ball, pace and all those things into the opponent 18 yards body. But we did not see that today, and I think it quite affected the game.
Yeah, I think Don Carlo gave them some plan. Don Carlo gave them some plan, and they stick to the plan because when you have a look of the very match that we saw, you see, very start Rodrigo responded. Rodrigo, we know, the goals were drought now, but I think Don worked on him during the training session and he responded so quickly. And don't forget, the fantastic and my best player in this very season, Bellingham.
Yeah.
Looking at the technique and how he just caught the ball.
I mean, talking about Bellingham, I don't think this guy is 20 years old because when you watch the game, at a certain point of the game, you could see that Braga was dominating the game hands down. And he was now telling the players, move out, hey, move out and let's attack or something. So, as a 20-year-old boy coming into a team like Real Madrid with the likes of Luka Modric, with all these big names, and she's having the zeal to command them to come out, instructing them, I think it requires a certain level of maturity and I just don't understand. This boy is just 20.
Yeah, I see.
It's quite crazy.
Yeah, I see Bellingham to be age 20, but the mindset of Bellingham, I think, is more than 20 years old because a guy from Dortmund hasn't tasted Spanish football, lifting the team of Real Madrid, the whole Real Madrid with the likes of that of Vini. Yeah. Vini was supposed to be the star man in this very setup now, but.
And I think Vini's performance is kind of dipping this season. And I think it's because of the switching of the formation and all those things.
Yeah, and the
he's yet to find how to navigate his way out when it comes to this type of formation, the diamond, shape
the diamond
attack. I think it's the reason why he's just not being able to score more goals and his take-ons and all that has dropped down some more. If you pay attention to his contribution in the games, it's not like the previous season and the other season, So I think Don Carlo have to do something. And starting Rodrigo, Madrid have to stick to a striker. They have to stick to Joselu. I'm not saying Rodrigo is a bad player or something, but what I'm trying to say is they have to have a focal point in every game that they will play. They should always have a focal point. And I think that is always harming Real Madrid when it comes to attacking. They are not always having someone to be in the focal point, someone to be in the number 9 role to push the opponent defender to make mistakes or something.
I think
there's no always aerial threats and all those things. So I think it's quite kind of, it's just not a good look on Real Madrid.
You see, the very time Madrid won their last Champions League, Don Carlo did something, and the thing that he did was so perfect to the extent that he was introducing Rodrigo as a sub.
Yeah.
And the very moment this guy steps in,
yeah.
you can see clearly that everything changed.
Yeah.
So I think now the performance has now dipped down a bit. I think you should now start the likes of Joselu and maybe sit Rodrigo back. Because whenever Rodrigo is in bench, he can study the game, the terrain, and everything. So the very moment he's give him the ball, fire.
And I think he should have started Brahim Diaz and Ada Gula. Ada Gula, I think he's not quite fit right now, but I think Brahim Diaz should have been given a full 90 minutes game so that we could have seen what he can do in the Real Madrid shed, because he has not had something like that ever since he returned to the club. So I think this game was an opportunity for him to be able to get 90 minutes. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Maybe just because he's smallish, Don Carlo don't have any confidence in him or something. As an attacker that is so smallish as he is.
Don't knew why he's now benching Adagula.
Yeah.
And with some time,
I think he's not fit. Adagula is not yet fit, though he's training with the team and all that. I've seen a couple of videos that he's training with the team, but I think he's still not fit. And it's a big problem. They don't want to risk it. The guy is so talented to the point that they have to make sure that he's fit before they give him game times and all that. So I think, they just want to keep him so fit. Yeah, that's just what I think.
Yeah, Don will surely work on him.
Yeah.
And you get the very good and the positive side of Adagula.
Surely Don will surely work on him. Guys, thanks for checking in on TSA. For more of such content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Just like that, we out and peace.